live streaming to YouTube at the same time, and we'll have the replay up for people as soon as this session finishes. But I would firstly just like to start by thanking you all for coming in here today on pretty late notice as well, because I really only announced this session this morning and I need to get rid of the echo there. But yeah, I only announced this session this morning, so it's wonderful to see that we've already got quite a few people joining us live, and we'll see how this goes. But this session is a pretty important one, I think, and hopefully is going to be quite fun because we are looking back at what we have really covered over the years with Herbal Entrepreneur in our community and the different kind of progresses that we've made. But even beyond that, how we're going through a transition period now and where we are going to go into the future, which is really going to shape what Herbal Entrepreneur becomes for all of us. And I think that it's really powerful to do a session like this all together and really get the opinions of the people in the Herbal Entrepreneur community, and that is you, so that we can really make this into like the most useful thing for everyone who is a part of this, and shape it into what we want it to become. So before we started recording, I did ask everyone in the chat to let us know where you're listening in from and also how long you've been a part of the Herbal Entrepreneur community. Because I know that there are some people who have been, just coming back year after year for the conferences for several years, been part of our Herbal Circle and things like that. And there's also some people who are very new to the community, perhaps only just found out about us like a month or two ago with the most recent Herbal Entrepreneur conference. So we have people from all over the place, from Boston, Massachusetts, from North Dakota, 3 years, 4 years, only been in it for a few months from Michigan, Alabama for 2 years, since 2020, from Virginia, from a few months, 2020. I'm going to say the how long we've been because I'm curious about that. This herbalism conference, so this year, a little over a year and a half. I believe since it started, go Janet, since 2019, has been watching the conferences for years and been part of the Herbal Circle for almost a year. So wonderful. And I also love that as well, how there are these opportunities for you to like dip your toes in and see what it's all about. And there are so many people who do that as well, just see the free events throughout the year and then decide to jump into the Herbal Circle at a certain point, or the other things that we have going on as well, which we're going to be talking about later on in today's session. All over the place. We've got people from Pittsburgh, the Netherlands, Texas, Laurel, 5 years from LA, California. Yes, she's been a member of the Herbal Circle for many years now. Lisa, 10 years, even longer than what the Herbal Circle existed, even because we actually started in 2019. So you founded it. Perhaps that's how long you've been an herbalist for. A year, and we've got, a while. Wonderful. There's 3 years this year. Lots of people coming in from all different, there's a good mix. I think there's some people who are new this year and some people who have been around for a while. But the aim of today's session is really to give this picture of what we have accomplished so far and really how things are changing and where we want to shape going forward. So I do have some slides prepared to go into that, but there are a few certain points that I'm going to take the slides away and tell you some stories and things like that as well. So I will start by sharing my screen now and just make sure I don't have that up. Okay, there we go. So I'll share my screen and go into this. So go to the slideshow and get rid of the Zoom thing. All right. So this is the Herbal Entrepreneur Evolution session. We're talking about the changes in the Herbal Entrepreneur community. And the best way to do that is to really look back and then look forward, which is what we're going to do. So today we are going to be celebrating what we have accomplished so far and look forward to the greater things that are still to come. So we are basically going to start by looking at how it started And it really did start with me because this did start out as a passion project. A little Australian girl in Italy not knowing what to do. And she started the Herbal Entrepreneur Conference as a hobby that kind of took off in a really good way. But we'll get into that story yeah, in a moment. And then the transition, which has just been happening over the last year and a half or so, and the ultimate vision of where we are going to be going. So they're like the three parts that we are going to be looking at today in a little bit more detail. And hopefully it'll give you a little bit of insight into what it has been like to grow a brand like this over the years. And yeah, I'm going to be sharing some like more vulnerable stories with you as well, so that you can understand yeah, where we're at with this. So we're going to start with the part one of how it all started. And it did start with me. For the first 2 years of Herbal Entrepreneur, I was on my own. I didn't have a team at all, and it was very much a hobby business. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to start with my story and introduce a little bit about how Herbal Entrepreneur actually was born in the beginning. So the overview of this is that it really did start with an Australian, which would be myself, Yolanda Joy, graduated in pharmacy in Australia and moved to Italy and was quite interested in the world of herbalism and was exploring different opportunities. So let's take a look at what that was like. So I actually grew up on a farm in Australia in the middle of nowhere. This is actually, this photo here that you can see on the slides is the backyard of the house that I grew up in. You can see it's very like typical Australian outback, like kind of flat and dry, and the eucalyptus trees and the mallee trees are that like the line up the back here is because that's where I'm from, the mallee. And yeah, I grew up in a farm, very kind of wild. I'm actually one of 5 children. And so I spent most of my childhood outside and just exploring in amongst the nature and like getting my hands dirty. I absolutely didn't know I was an herbalist at that point. I was just enjoying being outside. I didn't even know what an herbalist was. However, my father was a farmer. My mum was a stay-at-home mum. And I, yeah, did enjoy like the farm life very much so. Yeah, when I finished school, I decided to go to university and study pharmacy. I did this for 2 main reasons, mostly because I liked chemistry in school and I wanted to help people. They were the, like 2 things, and I decided that I could use my skills in chemistry to help people by becoming a pharmacist. So I moved to Adelaide and studied pharmacy, did a 4-year degree, and yeah, graduated in pharmacy. And that was an interesting experience because I did enjoy the chemistry side of things, and I did also enjoy helping people. However, towards the end of the degree, I started getting a little bit of hesitation around actually becoming a pharmacist because I was a little bit unsure about the way we were taught to approach decision making, especially yeah, the lack of considering the whole person, which is something that I love about herbalism. And we were very much kind of taught to be computers, I would say. So it was like, if this happens, do this. If this happens, do this. And I wasn't quite sure if that was something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And so I kind of welcomed the opportunity to make a big life change when I graduated pharmacy. Almost all of my pharmacy friends went on to become pharmacists, but I decided to do something a little bit different and I moved to Italy. So my boyfriend at the time was from Florence in Italy, and I decided to move across to Italy with him. We actually stayed for a few months in China before going to Italy. So I've been all over the place, but eventually we did end up in Italy, and that is actually what became my base from that point onwards. So I moved to Italy in 2013 and have been here ever since. And interestingly enough, when we were, after about a year of being in Italy, we moved to Oh, I have got this. I'll just put this down. We moved to a little town in the Alpini. So the Alpini in Italy are like the little mountains, and so between Florence and Bologna, so in Tuscany, Emilia-Romagna, that is the area that I moved to, with again the and in that area was where my like real passion for herbalism was born. And this is, I think, a lot because there is this huge contrast between the Australian nature and the Italian nature. So, in particular, I grew up reading a lot of fantasy books. And I know that often in these fantasy books, someone gets injured and then they go and get the yarrow and like rub it on or like those sort of things and like make the poultices of those things. And it was fascinating to me because I moved to this place where it was like full of green. And I realized that the plants around me were like the plants that were in the fantasy books that I'd been reading about as a teenager. And my interest in the whole world of herbalism was just like, boom. I wanted to know everything. And so I started reading books. I ordered all the different books and was reading and learning how to make different tinctures, and also learning from the people in the town that I lived as well, asking like the elders and things like that about what they used and how to harvest them, when to harvest them, and different things like that too. And so that was really where my interest in herbalism started, and this was around about 2015. And at the same time, the way I was kind of like, oops, making a living at this point was as a virtual assistant. So, again, I had graduated in pharmacy. I wasn't sure if I would move back to Australia at this point. So I decided to create a blog that basically explained how medicines worked to keep my knowledge updated and kind of demonstrate that I still knew what I was talking about if I was ever to go back to Australia, which I didn't end up doing, but it was incredibly helpful because it allowed me to develop the skills to create websites and do all sorts of things online. And I did that for my own website initially, but then I went on to help other people do this as well. And I ended up being a virtual assistant and helping various different clients with their social media, their websites, and things like that. And in this time, I worked for like two big clients that were both focused on creating online events, and in particular, like summits, online conferences. One of these clients taught people how to do them, and the other one did them. And I learned how to do it from one client, and the other client, I in practice did everything for them to create the conference. So basically, I had this skill set. I knew how to create conferences, but I was also like really interested in herbalism. And so I decided to kind of merge these things together and create the first ever Herbal Entrepreneur Conference, which looked like this. And I did this absolutely as a hobby. I was still working for both of those clients and just it was a passion project absolutely from the beginning. And I really just reached out to people that I admired and asked them to share their journey, what they'd learned, and like all the questions that I was personally curious about. So you'll notice as well that a lot of these people are people that I had read their books. So like Maria Noel Groves, her Body into Balance book was one of the first herbal books that I purchased. And I can remember as well emailing her and not expecting a response, but she is actually very conscientious and emailed me back like maybe even the same day. And I was surprised that how much the herbal entrepreneur, the herbal community wanted to share at an event like this. And Marlene Adderman, who was the director of the Herbal Academy, again, I was surprised that she wanted to talk to me, who was no one at this point. But in the end, putting together all these people that I respected created an event that was really valuable. And this was the first time that it had happened. But at this event, I put it out into the world, and there was more than 5,000 people that showed up and like attended the very first event. And I was like, wow, like that's amazing. 5,000 people of herbalists all over the world coming together to learn about how to become like better herbal business owners. And I started to think like this is really something that people are interested in. Like we want to learn from each other, and it's a really important topic. And I kind of this seed was grown in my mind of like, yeah, we can make something into this. And in fact, that's what happened. Year after year, it kind of growed. That's terrible English. It grew and became more impactful and reached more and more people to the point that today we have over 50,000 people in our community that attend our events and are involved in one way or another, which really just is a testament to how important this this container is, this medium to share what we're doing with other people and really create these networks. So, like I said, at this point we had tens of thousands of herbalists joining our virtual events from all over the world. And I decided to create a more focused community. And so this was actually just after the very first Herbal Entrepreneur Conference in July. I started the Herbal Circle, which is a monthly membership community to provide like more support to the herbalists that want like the accountability throughout the entire year. And that is absolutely what happened and has been happening for the last 6 years, since 2019. And that has been a really important piece of Herbal Entrepreneur for me, because it's where I listen. One of the most important things with a brand like Herbal Entrepreneur, where we are trying to help people and really provide the best resources for herbalists who are wanting to really build a business in this field, the most important thing is to listen. And that is what I have been trying to do over these years of leading the Herbal Entrepreneur community, is really listening to the herbalists who are in our community and figuring out what they want. However, it's hard to do that when it's like a huge community. You can do surveys and things like that, which is absolutely what we do. But the Herbal Circle is my like place that we support the herbalists in more detail. But it's where I get all of the ideas of what sort of products and what sort of topics to do at the Herbal Entrepreneur Conference the year after, and all of that, because it's keeping a pulse on what herbalists actually need and being able to help them directly. So there's been various different points that we've done throughout the years, like helping people create websites, helping people set up Facebook ads, helping people make online events, helping people set up like the designs for their market stalls. And there tends to be different trends that we listen to people in the Herbal Circle and provide the answers to that as well. So that's kind of that's what I use for that, and also help the people who are part of the episode. Oops.
Hey.
The warehouse let me know that the debit memo, we have the wrong part on it, or wrong part number on it.
Oh, which
hang on. I'm just gonna mute everyone. That was a mistake. There we go. I can't actually do it because it's disappeared. Here we go. And there we go. So that should be okay now. Oops, but then I went back. Okay. And so in addition to that, we've like literally helped directly a lot of people through the Herbal Entrepreneur Conference, but also through the Herbal Circle. And I wanted to share just a couple of stories today about that as well, just to like, celebrate along the way. So these are a couple of stories from Herbal Circle members over the years that have been part of it. And I want to, oops. There we go. So we've got like and one of the core things in the Herbal Circle as well is that we like celebrate the little wins along the way. And so each Friday it's like, what did you do this week? What is something that you won? Like a little kind of piece of progress that you made that week. And then I wanted to just demonstrate here what it means when you actually stack up the wins, which again, the Herbal Circle is all about. So this is like Yemaya, who is the founder and herbalist behind Yemaya's Apothecary. And you can see in this blog post, she has all of these little wins that she's been posting week after week. This post is a few years old now, but she is continuing to make progress. And yeah, so she started out as a herbal product maker, and this was in like 2019. She joined right at the beginning of the Herbal Circle. And then like has been like juggling her to-do list, getting everything done, and just like, and you can see these wins are like little tiny pieces along the way. Like I had a productive work day yesterday and went to 2 stores and made 2 appointments. Like very, very simple. But you can see when you start to do week after week, these months of work that she is adding up, and it's like, wow, what did you do? But then you can see, yeah, she put together a holiday sale, and it's interesting here because it got to here when like COVID hit, and she had been doing products mainly at market stalls in this time. And she was part of the Herbal Circle in 2020 when this was all happening. And in this progress, we were able to help her make a website and get her products up online in a pretty quick manner because, yeah, we had to adapt quickly in that. And that's like one of the beauty of this, of doing this as well. If you have a problem, you bring it and you can, yeah, find solutions, which yeah, that's kind of the point of Herbal Entrepreneur in general. And so like here's her website that she created, and well, yeah, we created together, and was able to like kind of continue that as well. Then just a couple of other examples. So Annika McCann of Primal Botanical, she has CBD products, and yeah, she shared an interview about like her business mission and messaging. But she also does some great Instagram reels and things with like the marketing side of things. And so I can see, where is that down here? Yeah. So she has some like pretty popular different reels and things like that, which this is something else that I feel is a really important part of a community like this of herbalists who are helping each other grow, because we can share amongst each other what's working. So she'd already done some tests of different like things, and you can see like this particular one has more views than others. And so like, what is it that made that one different from the others and things like that? We can share those insights with each other so that we can all grow more together, which again is kind of the point. Then also getting your herbal business off the ground with Ainsley Mellone. And this was a really nice story. Here's a video. It doesn't, I can't show you more, but like there are different stories here as well. So Ainsley was like a stay-at-home mum who was starting her business at the same time as like looking after her kids and things like that. And how that you can like launch that business while juggling other family and life demands. And there are like, it's just really inspiring and uplifting to see the different stories along the way. And yeah, like I said, this is just a kind of like a snapshot of like some of the types of wins that are shown that we share in the Herbal Circle. So like just they're so simple things like, so she finally got around to sorting her email inbox, which I mean is not a fun task, but when you finish it, you do get that little, that's good. And that's why like sharing it here and like recognizing that you were able to actually finish that, it makes a big difference for your productivity as well. And so you can see here, like, yeah, there is a lot of wins that people show. We won't go through all of them, but these are blog posts that you can check out later if you want to. All right, I need to keep moving because otherwise I'm going to run out of time. But let's go on here. So there's lots of like stories and things, but the point of this is that the more stories and people that we have a part of our community, the more we can share and help each other and uplift each other, which has been one of the strengths of the Herbal Entrepreneur community to date. And it's definitely something that I want to continue going forward. In fact, I actually wanted to accentuate this. And beyond the Herbal Circle community, we also released some other products for herbal entrepreneurs. And again, these kind of products came from questions that came out of the Herbal Circle. So that listening and then deciding to create things. So we have like the Herbal Business Diagnostic, the GMP pack, even the GMP series. Some of you from a few years ago may have been a part of that for people who are making products. It's a pretty great series to help with understanding the different processes. And then the pricing masterclass, going solo. And beyond that, we have done a lot of challenges and things like that inside the Herbal Circle as well. Like just the confidence on camera challenge, the consistency challenge, the share herbalism challenge. Like we've done a lot of different challenges to get people to become more confident and actually make progress. Oh, great. So Alicia's saying, I would love to learn more about getting comfortable on screen. All of these challenges are actually available inside the content area. So for people who are members of the Herbal Circle, you can actually access the previous ones. And so there's videos and things like that, and you can go through the challenges on your own. However, the confidence on camera one, I am considering doing again later this year because it is a really important topic for like today's age of being online, because you do need to be on video a lot, and becoming confident is really it helps a lot in the way that you can really communicate with people. Great. All right, so and like I think one of the proudest moments for me as a part of Herbal Entrepreneur to date was the first ever live event that we hosted in Italy. And like this was amazing for me because I was basically able to invite the herbalists that I love and respect to where I am in Italy, and then just create the space for the other herbalists who wanted to be part of that and create something amazing, which is what we did. Like this is the picture of our event last year. So this was in April 2024. And we had Rosemary Gladstar, Margie Flint, and Ola Takumba Obasi, and Maria Noah Groves speaking at the event. And it was amazing. It was truly, truly amazing. Like really one of the best weeks of my entire life. It was just so incredible to be able to spend that time. But like the teachers were incredible, like even just saying their names, it's amazing. But even beyond that, the people who attended the event were amazing. Like I made so many good friends at that event, and it was just such a beautiful energy of being able to share and be part of the week. And it was beautiful because we had this whole castle to ourselves, and being able to just like share meals and talk and just have the whole time. It was so relaxed and a beautiful energy throughout the week. It was truly, truly amazing. And we are going to be doing that again, but I will share more about the next event this towards the end of this. But I'll put the link in now, actually. I might as well. Oops, maybe I won't. It's a bit tricky. I need an assistant to do this part. I'll put the link into the chat if people want to check it out. But there we go. But it really was so amazing. And I was really proud of this also for a couple of reasons that I will talk to you about in the transition part. And throughout this time as well, we have been steadily growing in terms of the team and the people who are involved with Herbal Entrepreneur as well. So like I mentioned, the first 2 years, it was just me doing everything. So I was the one who created the website. I was the one who did the interviews. I was the one who responded to all of the support emails at 2 a.m. because there was too many coming back from the conference. The conference is crazy because so many people come at once, and it's really hard to keep up with the demand all of a sudden. And the first 2 years I was doing it myself, but as we've grown, we have expanded the team. So now we have Jen Prince and Caitlin Vliet, who help with leading and directing the Herbal Circle. And Eleonora, who is based in Italy with me, is doing the support and a lot of the admin stuff behind the scenes as well. So we've really like grown the team, which changes the dynamic a lot because there's more pieces in play, but it also means that we can have more impact and make a bigger difference with the brand overall, which again is kind of one of the exciting parts of having a business. All right. And so here I wanted to share now that part 2 is the transitional period. And this is really important because it kind of comes down to my personal journey a little bit. In this session, I have been sharing about my journey, how I like started in Australia and moved to Italy. And over the last year and a half, it has been a really, really big transitional period. And because I was, and I'm going to share, stop sharing my screen in a minute and tell a bit of my story. But I wanted to share this, like, I think this encapsulates the story quite well, is a quote from actually Tad Hargrave, who shared this with me when I was recording the Herbal Entrepreneur Conference session with him last year. And that was, if you could do that, then, so if you could create Herbal Entrepreneur and do what you've done in these circumstances, imagine what you can do going forward. Okay, and I'm going to be explaining a little bit what then was in a moment, but that was what he said. And just of a random note as well, it's like exactly today on Instagram, he shared a reel that I'm going to, oops, did I stop sharing? I did, didn't I? I didn't mean to do that. On Instagram today, he shared a reel about show the scar, not the wound. And so I just wanted to share this as well. Oh, hang on, I didn't do the sound. Okay, I'll put the link in and I'll just explain what it is. I'll stop sharing and I'll just explain. Okay. So basically, the reel from Ted Hargrave that he released today is about showing the scar and not the wound. And so this is about actually no, I'm just going to share it because I think it's important. I hadn't planned to do it, so I'm going to do it. Oh, but I did it again. Share sound. Okay. There we go. All right. Now, oops. So hopefully this will work. Let me know if you can't hear the sound.
I was just answering some of the questions that people are putting forth in my Facebook group, which you're welcome to join. Once a month, we go over them, and Betty, who's running it, and I record some videos where I respond to the questions. One of the questions had to do with how do we deal with vulnerability in marketing? And that was the phrase that came out of my mouth. Show them the scar, not the wound. Here's what I mean. If the wound is still bleeding, if it's still active, show your friends, show your therapist, show your healers, but don't bring that out into the marketplace. Are you insane? Do you imagine that everyone you show it to in the great unwashed masses are going to be kind and deal with your real vulnerability well? I've been vulnerable twice, really vulnerable on social media, and I regretted it both times. Show them the scar. It's already healed. I mean, a scar is...
Okay. Sorry, everyone. You're not hearing anything. Okay. That's fine. I apologize that you couldn't hear. The idea of this is that, can you hear something now? Oh, some people could hear. Okay. Who knows? But the idea is that when we're getting vulnerability when we're marketing, we want to show the scar and not the wound. And this is very important because vulnerability is actually a very powerful storytelling tool. And it's actually good to be vulnerable in the way that we share about our businesses and what we're doing as herbalists as well. And that's actually what I'm going to be doing today. But and that is kind of what I wanted to show here as well, that I have a pretty epic a pretty epic scar that I'm going to be sharing today. And then, and I can paste the link. That's a great idea. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'll paste the link for you guys. So this is the link to the it's just an Instagram reel, but the point of it is that when you do have a vulnerability or something that you want to share people with it after the fact, not like kind of while you're going through it, because that you've kind of got that retrospective idea and you can move forward. And so this is like, I'm at the point now as well where I am going through a really big transition period that has that is actually going to shape Herbal Entrepreneur as well. And that is why I wanted to share this now, because I feel like it is important in the future direction of Herbal Entrepreneur and where we're going with this. And I'm hoping that my scar is healed enough. I think there might be a few little oozing bits, but it's not bleeding anymore. So in a nutshell, while I was growing Herbal Entrepreneur, I was living in a pretty interesting family situation. And so in this sense, I actually when I moved to Italy, I moved because of my boyfriend at the time, who I ended up marrying. And while I was growing Herbal Entrepreneur, I was married to this Italian man living in the mountains, and we had two children. And I was incredibly busy. So I was looking after the two kids and had the growing business, and was doing a lot of things, but it ended up being quite an unhealthy family situation, and got quite tense at times and was not fantastic. And at the beginning of last year, which was just before I launched the 6th annual Herbal Entrepreneur Conference, I actually had to leave the house in an emergency situation with my children. And I hosted the entire conference from like essentially a women's shelter in Italy. And so it was like a crazy time, like totally crazy. But I was really committed to the idea of showing up and continuing on Herbal Entrepreneur, even throughout this crazy time in my life. Because to truly be honest, growing Herbal Entrepreneur was my savior throughout this time, because it was not a healthy family situation, and it was my little refuge, was creating this community. And it was so crazy to me because my ex-husband couldn't see the little castle that we were building virtually. It was something like, it was my playground full of people that I love, which is you guys. And it was really it gave me so much meaning and purpose. And I would when I was like upset or feeling not great, I would go and work away, and I was creating the Herbal Entrepreneur community, all of the little products and all of the community and all of the ideas, and putting it into place. And it was what kept me alive throughout those times, that and my children, and like it was really important for me. And so when I did go away, I did the Herbal Entrepreneur Conference last year while I was in a women's shelter. And you couldn't really tell, because again, I have my background up, and most of the time you couldn't tell too much. I had some help. My sisters flew in from Australia and the UK and things like that, and were able to like help me with looking after the kids while I was able to do this. But it was a crazy time. And to add to the crazy, I did the Herbal Entrepreneur Conference last year, but then I had already organized for this live event in Italy with Rosemary Gladstar, Margie Flynn, Ola Kumba Basi, and Maria Noik Rose, and like all of the other herbalists who were like flying in from everywhere for the live event. So there was no way I could cancel it. It was going ahead. I wanted this to happen, and and we did. We pulled it together. Again, like my personal life was a shambles, but because the teachers were so experienced and wonderful, it was still able to be a wonderful event. And that event was the first time that like my location was known because I was yeah, in an unknown location before that, and it was a really big thing to be actually able to do that event, and it just turned out so beautifully. And this is where it comes down to like really showing the scar a little bit because of for those of you who have been part of the Herbal Entrepreneur community for like years, you might have noticed that over the last couple of years, there's been like, little signs that I haven't quite been as on the ball as what I was a few years ago when I was in the building phase. But overall, this journey that I went through and I'm still going through, to be honest, has made me even more determined to continue reaching people, especially, and this is really important for me because as I have shared my story with like people, so at the live event, for example, last year, I shared it with people, and there are so many people who come back and share their stories with me as well of things that they've gone through, or like speakers at the Herbal Entrepreneur Conference. And a lot of people have gone through this. And I feel like it is even more common, like for people who are more empathetic and people who are herbalists, like really, it's more common to experience this kind of upset in your life. And for this reason, it's actually really important that we can have something of our own as well. So, just like a really personal example, I was empowered enough to be able to leave and create a new life for myself because of Herbal Entrepreneur. Like I had a business and I was able to do this and that sort of thing. But I really feel like it's important that other herbalists can do that too. And that's why like Herbal Entrepreneur, being able to create a business out of your love of herbalism and like become like financially stable through your work with herbs actually allows you, empowers you to make decisions in your life that really just create that safe space and like build up our power as well. Because yeah, a lot of us have experienced things like this and need a way through. So it makes it even more important for me that even people who are more empathetic and more sensitive types are able to really sustain themselves and create that powerful place for themselves as well. I really feel passionate about it and just sharing it with other people as well because I've experienced that myself. And so that is the like kind of the transition that we like have been going through. And like I said, still kind of getting to the end of that transition, but I am at the point now where a lot of the organization things are pretty well fixed. So like and so I'm at the point of really starting to look forward and shape what Herbal Entrepreneur can become from this point. And it's quite beautiful because we have this new beginning. I'm like on my own now with my two children, and I have the possibility to lead Herbal Entrepreneur in any direction that we as the community want to take it. And so this is where I really would like to extend the invitation to everyone in the Herbal Entrepreneur community with your ideas and what it is that you want to like what you want going forward from Herbal Entrepreneur, because we can essentially make that happen. And that is really, yeah, part of it. So I'm actually going to put together uh, a survey to get some more ideas from you all. But I would like to go through a couple of the questions now in the chat as well. And part of the reason for this as well is because of yeah, like this section of the slideshow, which I haven't shared my screen anymore. I'll share it again. This section of the presentation is about embodying your ultimate vision. So really what we want Herbal Entrepreneur to come as a collective. And so this quote from Marshall Goldsmith of what got you here won't get you there. And like I said, like at the beginning, Herbal Entrepreneur was just me working away as my little hobby. But at this point, we have a team, and we have I have my eye on how to expand the team even more. I'm also always scouting out for talent, but it's really about how we can move forward, going ahead as well. And so this is where I have a couple of questions that I would, love to know from you in the chat as well. So I might just type it into the chat, but so first of all, if you would like to write in the chat, what you would like to achieve in the Herbal Entrepreneur community, like what is your main kind of, what is it that would be most helpful for you to get out of being in the Herbal Entrepreneur community? And if you could, write in the chat, let me know what that is. April is saying support. So a couple of things to think about here as well. Do you want, we've got lots. Okay. Confidence, knowledge, community, clarity on idea, getting over imposter syndrome, more clarity, guidance. Okay. Good. Launching. Would like to network and support from you all. Help with marketing, especially related to marketing the energetics or products so as to avoid medical and dietary claims. Finding like-minded herbalists, so Christian or conservative worldview. Help with where to find information. Regenerative growing forward, making food your medicine, regenerative vitality growing in your backyard, minimize harvest to cold storage. So many avenues, planting turmeric and ginger and Baton Rouge. I'd love to see an Herbal Entrepreneur in-person event in the US to build community. We do have that. We've been talking about that. April, yes, marketing. There we are. Okay, so someone has been in business since April 2024 but hasn't received her first order yet. Okay, if you haven't received any orders, honestly, I would start with friends and family. That's because there's already some trust built up there. I know a lot of people need help with the mentality of sales as well, actually asking people to buy your products. But grow education, building the confidence to put that first product out there. Teach sustainable lifestyle, herbal and dietetics, focus on finding your ideal client. Revamping products and to sell, including beauty products. Learning to reach out and educate community. Oh, yes, to an event in the US. Launching and marketing, again, marketing. And there we go. Yeah, confidence being on camera, conveying product messaging, confidence in presenting online events, support and encouragement, a bit easier with the web navigation. I hear you there, Laurel. US based Herbal Entrepreneur Retreat. Interesting, there's a lot of interest for that. The connecting with other professionals, mainly getting connected with herbalists to formulation, support and knowledge, marketing, grow community in Croatia, accomplish niching down to herbal spa experiences, finding herbalists in my area, and sustainability. So there's quite a few different pieces there. And interested, so there's quite a few people who are interested in an in-person US event, where to find your people, growing global community, guidance on how to put together a group and test products and get feedback. Great. All right. I also have another question. Do you suggest using family member that in marketing? Should I use them? Yeah, absolutely. If you have a family member who has marketing experience, absolutely ask them if they're happy with sharing, and then yeah, and use your connections. That's networking. It's a great idea. Building confidence in front of camera, connections and foreign local herbal support went up. Making focused workshops, so many ideas. Um, Sustainability, Greek herbal causes, build community. Yes, a US event, networking support, solidarity, knowledge and experience from herbal business practice. Um, uh, there we go. All right. The next question that I have, and this is kind of like a multiple choice question, and it is what kind of resources do you find more helpful? So do you like attending live, like virtual live Zoom events like this one? Do you prefer like workshops or like community style events? Or do you prefer more resources like, ebooks and PDFs and that kind of thing, or online courses? What kind of resources are you looking for primarily from of what we're doing? Okay, so live courses, I think all of the above. I like variety, online and PDFs. All of the above, workshops. Great. So workshops to attend the accountability of it, online courses with Zooms, live Zooms, online live resources, videos. Lives are hard to get to usually. So you prefer pre-recorded webinars, online courses, and physical events in Europe. Yay! Online, live with recordings to watch. I loved what I learned from the online event, live and online resources, interactive online avenue for Q&A, Europe workshops, live Zoom events, US conference, love live, active farmer grower, tough to leave the operation. All of the above, but live is hard to attend. Physical event in Croatia, mostly online. Love the lives, but would prefer them on the weekend or evening. It's hard to attend while at work. This is a good point. Yeah. I love the videos, but can't usually attend live. So much love for you guys who are attending live and saying that you can't usually attend live. So thank you for making the time today and actually showing up. That makes me quite happy. Okay, so basically a bit of everything anyway is what I'm getting here. It's not so much one or the other, which is good to know. And the like my final question as well is like, what kind of topics are you wanting to, like, specific topics are you wanting to learn more about? Like, is it more about like and this can be either the pathways, so like the farming or teaching or selling or healing or growing. It's farming, I've already done that, making products or something like that. Or if there's like other specific themes or something that you would like to learn about as well. How to run workshops and classes well. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Foraging and plant identification, legislation, legality of creating and selling, clinical herbalism, the do's and don'ts of herbalism, guest teacher from all of the countries about specific healing themes. Where can I get certification? That often depends on where you're based, just putting it out there, because of yeah, a lot of certificates are just certificates that don't hold real value, but it depends where you're based as to what sort of certification you need to be an herbalist, or whether you're even allowed to call yourself an herbalist, actually. Farming, healing, reversing diseases by diet, health benefits, finding herbal mentors, business help. It would be really cool if we did region-specific classes. For example, I'm in Alberta and we have winter for 6 months a year. So a lot of the herbs that are common discussion I don't have here. How to develop courses and online structure, learning in-class marketing. Cool. All right. So there's quite a lot making products, planting the herb gardens. All right, there's quite a few different things there. And this is the sort of stuff that is like we're literally going to be taking our ideas from here because this is where we're going to be shaping what comes out based on what we actually need. Because the Herbal Entrepreneur community is a living, breathing community, and that's what we want it to be. We want it to be a place where it is not the same over the years, but it evolves based on what like is most important in that particular time. So like one of the themes that I'm getting today is that like showing up confidently and well on camera is like a pretty common request of people. And so that one there is something that we can do. And that makes sense because of as like social media and online kind of marketing grows, the video is becoming more and more and more important. And so being able to show up confidently in that way is really it's understandable that that is an interest of many people today. Great. All right, so let's go back to all right, so now we're almost at the end of today's session, but I wanted to let you know about what's coming up throughout the rest of this year. Okay, so I'll share my screen once again. All right. So I think the most important thing that I would like to share about what's coming up is our next live event that is happening in September of this year. And so these are a couple of photos from the event that we had last year. And I would like now just to as well explain a little bit about how the whole thing works, because it's like a 5-day event that we get there like on the Monday. And the first day is, yeah, more of an introductory type day where we are like, getting to know each other. We have an opening circle and really just create that space to learn throughout the week. And then on the next 2 days of the event, we have like intensive classes with the 4 speakers at the event. And so there's like a morning class and an afternoon class. And this event is intentionally quite small. So there is like 40 places only to attend this. And the idea of this is so that we can form those more internet connections and really just create great friendships with the other herbalists who come to the event. And so there is 40 people in the class in the morning and the afternoon on Tuesday and Wednesday. And so this is where you can really go deep into what the teachers are sharing with us. And throughout this time as well, we're like having breakfast and lunch and dinner with everyone who is part of it. So you can see at last year's event, we made pizzas and things like that. And here is, we had a herbal spa class with Rosemary Gloodstar where we made beautiful face masks and steams and worked in partners to really give ourselves the self-care and build up our energy. And to be a part of that as well. And that is actually something that I want to accentuate in this year's event as well. So last year's event was primarily towards the practicing herbalist skills. And this year it's still about that, but I would really like to hone in on the connection between the herbalist and the plants and how we can build that up, because I feel like an in-person event, one of the most important things that we can do is to really build up that touch, that personal connection with each other and the plants, that confidence. That's what this event is about. I created this event for myself as well, similar to the virtual event, but it's about really embodying the confidence of what we want to become. So this event is intended for intermediate to advanced herbalists who have been studying for a while, but are perhaps not feeling as confident in their skills as they would like to, so that they can actually go out and practice. So it's really that internal confidence in who you are as an herbalist and building that up. And so, like I said, there's 4 classes on the Tuesdays and Wednesday. And then at the end of that, we decide, like everyone puts in like a form of their preferences of who they would like to do like the in-depth or more intimate class with on the Thursday morning. And so we actually on the Thursday morning we split out into 4 groups and have it with 4 different teachers and like 10 people in each group. And that's a really beautiful way because you get to decide which speaker you kind of resonate more with and want to learn more from, and create that connection there. And the way that it's like the preferences are in the order of people signing up for the event as well. So the sooner you sign up, the more likely you are to get your preferences. And so this is just a couple more photos from the event, and you can see here like this was the opening circle and the closing circle over here. And this was actually the room where we had all of the classes and things like that. Let's see if I can yeah, and this is kind of the feel of those smaller groups as well, which we had all around different places, some of them outside, some of them on like couches, some of them all different depending on what the class is. And so, this was our teachers of last year. And one of the classes was outside when we had some nice weather as well, because we had some quite cold weather last year. And so this year is the 1st to the 5th of September. And so I will just quickly share with you here. This video of last year's conference or event is great to, I won't show it now, but I'll put this link in the chat for you guys to check it out afterwards. Here we are, because it really is magical. And then we have these, you can also check out these videos here of like experiences of people who attended last year and what it was like. But and this year's event, we have Selima Houston last, April Punsalan and Lisen Sundgren, who all spoke at the conference this year. So if you are not familiar with them, go and check out their sessions and you'll kind of get a bit of an idea of what that's going to be like. And we also have a mystery speaker who is yet to be confirmed because we had a we had a scheduling conflict, and unfortunately we had to shift some things around. So we're going to have a mystery speaker who I will announce that as soon as it is confirmed. But that is really what the like going forward is going to be about. And I wanted to share also this is like the schedule of the event, so like the information and things like that. So we've got like on the Monday, and this is basically what I was saying before of what we're doing. And then on the Thursday afternoon we have student-led classes. So this is where we can share amongst ourselves as well, which worked really well last year. And a final dinner on the Thursday just to celebrate everything that has been accomplished and really move into that. And on the Friday, again, closing things up with a closing circle as well. The location for this year's event is actually a beautiful Palazzo Loop. It's a in the countryside between, like close to where I live, between Florence and Bologna. I'll get this up for you. And it's actually a spa as well. So it's we're going to have like it's I think this year's event is going to be a little bit more around the really just like empowering ourselves, really giving ourselves that grounded like self-care, learning, spending the time, the energy with the other people, and really just building that up. So you can see all about that, all of that. So this is where like I would really like, if you are wanting to go deep into Herbal Entrepreneur, this is where I would really, really, really love to meet you in person and go through this. And also if you are able to like sign up soon, we can add in like extra things to do with like in the schedule, because I'm kind of putting it together as we speak. As an example, one of the things that I love to do at the moment is something called biodanza, which is like energetic dancing to music, and it's kind of like yeah, it's very processing emotions and like energetic. And so, and I feel like it's quite related to herbalism in the way that we connect with nature as well. And so we're going to be adding in like that element in one of the days into the schedule as well, and also some astrology type things of stargazing and things like that at nighttime as well, and some like little extra little bits into the program. And so if you're interested in actually coming and joining us, yeah, it is a great time to actually uh, let me know your ideas, because we can add them in as well. So if you're interested in that, again, I've already put the link in there, and that is kind of a great place to start. However, I'm well aware that not everyone can actually make it to Italy in person. And so if you can't make it to Italy in person, the best place to go would be, I'm just going to check the chat, is to actually join us in the Herbal Circle. Okay. The, okay. So for the intensive in Italy, the price for everything, and this like includes everything. So it's like food, it's accommodation, it is all of the teacher classes, all of the like resources, everything. The current price, which the I think it'll stay like this for a while, but there is 1,800 euro for the a single ticket. If you are coming in a group, so if you have like two people coming together or something like that, feel free to email support@herbaleNtrepreneur.com, and we can kind of like work out a some sort of an arrangement. But you can, like, I just put the link to the actual sales page there. And if you have any questions about this, I would actually, I'm happy to talk with people specifically about whether it's like the right thing for you or that as well. So you can email support@herbaleNtrepreneur.com, and we can set up a time to chat about it or something like that as well, if you have specific questions. But that is like, yeah, if you want to go deep and like really just join me learning about herbs and building up our energy and just like celebrating being an herbalist in Italy, that is the best place to be for September this year. And I really, yeah, I don't want to push, because I feel like the right people are going to come based on like what it is. It really is such a unique event. There's nothing else like it. So I hope that yeah, the people who just feel like, yes, that is for me, you'll be there and be part of that. But like I said, not everyone can be part of like can travel to Italy. There's a lot of like family demands and things like that going on. And so if you want to be part of like the long-term vision of Herbal Entrepreneur, the best place to do that is really to be a member of the Herbal Circle. And I think I have been a little bit bad in communicating that in the past, because I haven't really always told people how important the Herbal Circle members are for me. Because like I said, the Herbal Circle is my doorway into what herbalists need. And it is where I want people to be in the Herbal Entrepreneur community. So the Herbal Circle is a monthly membership. And when you sign up for the membership, you kind of get everything unlocked. And so this is where you get access to all of the previous Herbal Entrepreneur conferences. You also get access to like 2 monthly tea room calls, which are hosted by Jen Prince and Caitlin Blier. And that's where you can come to the group and say, look, I'm struggling with this at the moment. How can we improve? And you get ideas from other people and start to bounce ideas off and come up with solutions, which is the important part. And you also get to join all of the challenges and things like that that we have coming up. So the previous ones are also available if you want to go back into those. But coming forward as we go into the next few months in particular, we've got a couple of things that I wanted to mention. So actually next week on Friday, we have a round table discussion around accounting practices for herbalists. So this is where we're going to be coming together and really just talking about our different ideas and what's working and what's not. And so that's going to be at 11 a.m. on Friday, the 16th of May. And that is only for members of the Herbal Circle. We have like quite a few events throughout the year that are just for members of the Herbal Circle. And so that's going to be happening then. In addition to, I want to get this up because it's not working. And then we have 2 more herbal tea room sessions as well, which is, I think, on my calendar's not working, but I think it's the 13th and let me see. The 13th and the 21st, I believe, of May. And then coming up in June as well, we're going to be doing a kind of a challenge, kind of a mission. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to, might still, no, I'm not. Okay, good. We're going to be doing a mission, and this is around like validating a product idea. So something that you have had on your mind to do for a while, or maybe changing something or getting feedback on a product that you've kind of putting out into the world. And we're going to have a mission dossier of like what you need to do and instructions to go through and do it. And then because this is the idea to really get you to take action and do things. And we're going to be doing that in June to get you to test out a product idea. So maybe you have an idea of an online course, for example, but rather than creating the whole course, which is maybe going to take you months, you could instead create the first lesson and do a live workshop, an introductory workshop to get people to pay for the first one and like the idea of this is that you actually want to get money straight in to validate your product idea. And so the idea of this, what we're doing in June, is to get you to create a mini tiny little version of your product or of your idea and to put it out there and get feedback from people so that you can validate if it's an idea that you actually want to go forward or not. So we're going to be doing that in the Herbal Circle and exclusively in the Herbal Circle in June. And so if you're already a member of the Herbal Circle, great, you're set up and ready to go. If you are not a member of the Herbal Circle, that is it really is the best way that you can support the mission of Herbal Entrepreneur going forward. If you are a member of the Herbal Circle, you basically get access to everything. Like if you're currently a member of the Herbal Circle, when we do the next conference, we will give you the VIP pass if you and you get the previous ones and the challenges and all of that. So it really is your the all-encompassing way to support the Herbal Entrepreneur brand. And so if you're not a member, I would highly recommend you kind of join us in that way. And I would love to see you in Italy too. That's also what I would love to do. I am going to put together an actual survey with the questions that we talked about in the chat for people who are watching the replay, and then you can put in your answers into the survey. So I'll put that underneath this video when we have the replay available. And so that will help with that too. If anyone has any questions, feel free to put them in now. And I'll just answer the ones that are already in here too. So Sonia, is there a link that people are attending can join and meet to travel together if you are coming from the same state. That's a great idea. So yes, and that's what we're going to be doing like now actually. So we are using the app, but last year we actually created a WhatsApp group for the live event, which is still active today. It's so cool that people are still asking questions and being part of that. But so we will do that. Absolutely, we want to get people into contact as much as they can, because if you can get flights over together, it's great. And so if you are interested in coming to the live event in Italy, it is about 40 minutes out of Bologna. And so the best drive out of Bologna. And so the best idea is to fly into Bologna. Bologna Airport is very easy to navigate, and there's like a 7-minute train from the airport to Bologna city centre. And it is from Bologna city centre that we will have buses taking you out to the actual event in the countryside in Italy. So it's like just, it is such an experience just being able to, go from there and get the transport all together as a group and just spend that week together and eat together, talk together, learn together, and just be together in nature and the plants and somewhere else in the world. It's really a beautiful way to do that. So I hope that if that sounds like something that you want to do, if you want to join me in Italy, please come, please. It was wonderful last year and I can't wait for it this year as well. And otherwise join the Herbal Circle, because that is where we're going to be having, and I am going to be watching all of your ideas from the chat today, but also the survey that's going to send out around like ideas, because we are really going to be shaping this. And my vision for the future is to continue sharing stories of what herbalists are doing from around the world so that we can learn and inspire each other and continue to build each other up, because it really is, I think, the overarching theme is collaboration over competition. The more that we can connect and help each other, the stronger and more powerful the whole impact of herbalism and herbalists become, and the more we can spread the magic throughout the world. And that is one of the most beautiful things, because we can see this all over the world today, from Italy to the US to Australia to the UK to India, all over the world. And we are helping each other and ultimately creating a better place because we are we're advocating for the plants, which is a really important role. So that's really where I want to take it going forward. I'm going to be sharing as many stories as possible. I want to create good stories. You might be at the beginning of your journey. You might be ready to move forward and really create something beautiful. And I want to share your story in a year from now with others, so that we can continue this wheel of thousands of herbalists from all over the world making a difference and just ultimately, making the world a better place. So idealistic, but also what we're actually doing. So realists. I'll just check the chats here. Perfect. Will we get info on the transport close to the date? Yes, you will. Sonia, remember a party? Yes, exactly. Party with Yolanda in Italy. Come with me. We're going in September, guys. There are only 40, there's less than 40 tickets left now, actually. I'm not going to be offering more. There are only 40 tickets. So if you are interested in coming, please do. And there is a payment plan as well, that you can pay monthly to make it a little bit more easy financially. But if you're interested in doing it, just do it. You will not regret it. It's an amazing event. It's just my event, but it really is. Remember, party with Yolanda. Can't wait. I am hoping to be able to attend. Your information is so wonderful. And and that's the thing. I really just want to meet you. And it's so wonderful to meet people in person. It really is. It's just let's just party together. If you are able to, I would love to meet you in person this September in Italy. Otherwise, please do join the Herbal Circle, because that's the ongoing community of Herbal Entrepreneur. And I am going to be looking at all of your ideas to really focus on what we have coming forward in terms of products and free classes as well, just like what we can offer in the best way possible. So thank you everyone for turning up today. It's been a very different to my usual classes that we do at Herbal Entrepreneur. But it has also been a way to, kickstart again, because I've been laying low since the last Herbal Entrepreneur Conference. But my energy levels are up again. By the way, this is something I very much advocate for. You need to take rest periods sometimes. That's what I have been doing for the last month. But I am ready to get back out here and really just help you on your journey. And so really looking forward to where the next few months take us. And let's move forward and bring more herbs to the world together. Thank you everyone for being here, and let's move forward and continue on this journey.